in the Big Apple as WGN Sports brings you Chicago Cubs baseball. Game 2 of a 4-game weekend set. The Cubs and the Mets, and we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs swept the Mets at Wrigley Field in early June, but dropped the opener of this series 3-2 last night.
Yeah, and of the 4 ball games these two clubs have played, 3 one-run games. The Cubs won the first 2, and then last night the Mets picked up the 1-run victory. Cubs got off to a nice start in the 3rd inning. Starlin Castro kept his hitting streak alive, drove home Travis Wood with a base hit, had a 2-run lead, and then at the bottom of the 4th, Eric Campbell, after a couple of walks by Travis Wood, hit one into the seats, just his 2nd home run this year. And you see Travis upset with the location of that high-cut fastball. From that point on, nada for the offenses. The Cubs had 4 hits, none after the 3rd inning. Zach Wheeler really took command of the ball game early, had 5 strikeouts for the first 2 innings, punched out 10 in total, and then the guys in the bullpen very sharp as well. Familia, hard-throwing right-hander, was really crisp, and then Mejia came in to finish the job.
Yeah, the Cubs couldn't get anything done in those final innings against the bullpen. Luis Valbuena off the bench. Rounding out, Mejia excited as the Mets take the opener and strikeouts. That's been the big story of the week.
Boy, indeed. There you see the box score, just 4 hits for each club. Castro kept his hitting streak alive. Campbell again with a big swing in the bat, but 91 punch-outs in the last 8 games. That's about a third of their plate appearances they're striking out. Obviously, they need to fix that.
Left-hander Jonathan Neese for the Mets, and a Cubs debut tonight. Right-hander Dan Straley coming up. To you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Ford, manufacturers of America's best-selling brand. Check out our best-selling lineup at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Well, a Cub debut tonight. Right-hander Dan Straley, acquired from Oakland in early July in the Samardzija and Hamill deal. Just a spot start. The Cubs will play a man short on their bench tonight.
Yeah, 3-man bench for Ricky Renteria. Dan Straley will become the 10th different Cub to make a start this year. You look at his numbers in his career with Oakland, 13-11 with a 4.11 in 41 starts. 7 of those came this year. Struggled, was sent to the minor leagues, came over in the deal. He's been really pitching well of late down at AAA Iowa.
Left-hander Jonathan Neese has faced the Cubs a fair amount in his career. He's been on the DL twice due to arm trouble this year. Velocity down just a little bit.
Yeah, and he's had his struggles in the second half of the season since the All-Star break, an ERA over 5 in his career against the Cubs, 2-4 with a 5.26.
An extended stay for the Cubs will be here through Monday afternoon, and a lot of Cub fans in the ballpark. We'll have the first pitch and all the action coming up next.
This should be an epic match. Hey, now Lukin's throwing the first pitch.
On WGN TV is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. That's a very large apple. Actually, I would call it a big.
It's a big apple, yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. It's brought to you by Mazda and the 2014 Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. Coughlin in the leadoff spot, even against the left-hander tonight. Baez, Rizzo, Castro 2 through 4. Justin Ruggiano is in right. Junior Lake sent out with Dan Straley here. Arizmendi Alcantara is in center. Wellington Castillo, the catcher. It's Chris Valaika, second straight start for him with the newest Cub, Dan Straley, batting ninth.
Well, let's take a look at the Mets defensively. They've committed just 2 errors over their last 13 games. They're 4th in the National League in terms of fielding percentage. Den Decker gets a start in left. Lagares, he's well above average in center. Curtis Granderson, the veteran, in right. Speaking of, he's at third. Flores Murphy in the middle. Lucas Duda is the first baseman, and Travis d'Arnaud will do the catching tonight. And lefty Jonathan Neese, 6-8 with a 3.46 ERA. He's been bad in the second half. He's been good here at home. And as we showed you in our open, he has struggled against the Cubs in his career. So we're not sure what we're going to get from him. 4-pitch mix, fastball, cutter, curve, and a changeup from Jonathan Neese.
Phil Cuzzi will wear the mask. He's behind the plate. Will Little is at first, Adrian Johnson at second, and Greg Gibson, the crew chief, over at third. Gorgeous evening here in Queens. Cubs grabbed an early 2-0 lead last night, but then Eric Campbell hit the 3-run homer, and that was it.
The Cubs plagued with the strikeout fever here of late, but that's not a big part of Nice's game. He's below average in terms of strikeout rate. Whoa.
That one handcuffed Darno, the catcher. We're underway.
Trying to hang in there and frame that one as long as possible. Cutting action from Nice. Fastball 88 to 91.
Wright is in at third. Coughlin swings and fouls back. For 3 with a walk last night. He lost his helmet decal, it appears. Where's the C? Probably somewhere in the grass
right
between.
Right in the middle of the keyboard.
No, you.
Middle C.
Right between the X and the V, right. 2-2. Knocked down by Nice. He recovers in time. Bad throw. Gets away from Duda, and Coughlin is safe. Maybe running a little faster without the decal.
Yeah, I think that was the key. I really do. Well, what are they going to go, an E1 here?
I think so. Yes. An error on Nice, and now Terry Collins and one of the Mets athletic trainers coming out to check on him. It's a tough play for the first baseman there. You worry about a broken wrist or something, so
yeah,
kind of short arm it a little bit.
Especially when it's down like that. If it's a little higher, you can kind of cross over into foul territory, try to catch it before you make contact with the base runner, but he had to concern himself with bending down to try to catch that ball too.
So the leadoff man is aboard, and here's rookie Javier Baez, 12th major league game. Drills that ball foul off to the right.
He may be thinking about taking more of a other way approach. He's been pulling off a lot of balls. Punched out twice in the ball game last night. Hit a bullet for a base hit. Past the shortstop. I thought Nice just knocked that ball down with his glove, but apparently hit his arm, and that's why they came out and checked on him.
It's bounced foul to third.
See if we can detect where this one got Jonathan Nice, if it did.
I think it got him, obviously the glove, but I think it might have caught his elbow a little bit.
As I mentioned, struggled here in the second half as Nice 1-4 with a 5.06 ERA since the All-Star break. That one win, though, came in his last start in Philadelphia, and he was good in that one. 7 innings of 2-run baseball.
And that after coming back, and that one booted by David Wright. 2 errors to start the ball game.
Neither chance easy, but this is the big leagues and plays that you would expect to be made. He hits the ball so hard, you know, just catches guys out of rhythm. Right? Just not set for that sharp ground ball by Baez.
Mets not a bad defensive team, but they have been here in the first inning, and the Cubs try to take advantage. Here's Rizzo. I was going to mention Nice spending some time on the DL with a shoulder issue. Lost his first 4 starts since being activated, and then won his last time out, as JD mentioned. He also Started his season a few days late, was on the DL with an elbow problem. So he's had to battle through some arm issues this year, which might explain the drop in velocity. 2-0 the count.
Wants to kind of think this one over. This is a big pitch. After a couple of errors, a dangerous hitter up, 2 balls, no strikes. .49 and .48 lifetime for Nice with a .390 ERA. Mets signed him to a 5-year deal prior to 2012.
He's from Defiance, Ohio. And Rizzo sends one in the air out into deep left center. Lagares will run it down. Coghlan tagging. The throw goes to second. And they're at the corners with 1 out. It's actually a really smart play by Lagares. Not every center fielder will make that throw. Generally, he'll try to get that guy at third, which is a tough play to make, but if you do that, you're probably looking at second and third.
Right, you're going to allow that back runner. Although Baez wasn't tagging, but you know his back was to the play as he caught that ball. He wasn't sure what was going on behind him. So that's where you just trust your instincts. Know where you are in the field. Know who the base runners are. He knows he's not going to throw Coghlan out at third. So just hurry the ball back into the middle of the diamond.
Strike on Starlin Castro. He's hit in 14 in a row. A base hit tonight. And he'd have a new career high in terms of a hitting streak.
Change-ups to get started here with Castro. Normally, if you're a pitcher in this situation, you're thinking about a double play to get out of the inning. He's not really. I guess, you know, the ground ball is part of his repertoire. But I think with Castro up there, yeah, once you get the jump, he's thinking punch out. Tough to run on. He's quick to home plate.
Trying to work around a couple of errors. One he committed and one by David Wright.
Well, there you go.
4-6-3. So he doesn't get the strikeout, but he gets something better in his opinion. Home runs, 13th in the National League, but they're third in walks. So patient bunch, including Curtis Granderson, who's having a tough year with his batting average. Daniel Murphy, an all-star for the first time, leading the league in hits. David Wright had his 13-gamer end last night. Lucas Duda does much of his damage with the power game from the left side against righties. Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. Matt Dendecker's in left. Juan Lagares in center. Wilmer Flores plays short with Nice, the pitcher, batting ninth.
And the Cubs defensively, they've done a nice role too. Coghlan, Alcantara, Ruggiano in the outfield. Valleca, Castro, Baez, Rizzo, third to first. Wellington Castillo behind the plate tonight. Making his debut as a Cub, 25-year-old right-hander Dan Straley at AAA Iowa. After the trade, he was 3-3 with a 3 in 7 starts. He has not allowed an earned run in each of his last 3 starts for Iowa. 19 innings, 2 runs. They were unearned.
Working quickly here is Granderson. It's a foul pop-up. Not a lot of room behind home plate before you get to the backstop, and that one well out of play. So Straley, 6'2", 215. He's 25 years old. Born in Redlands, California. Went to Thurston High School in Springfield, Oregon. Western Oregon University and Marshall University. 24th round pick, 2009 by the A's.
He too with a 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, change, and curve.
We were thinking of the usual suspects. Mitch.
He's got a 4-pitch Mitch. (10-8) with the A's last year. 27 starts.
Swing and a miss.
Yep, he can do that. He likes to elevate the fastball. He's not overpowering in terms of velocity. He had very good strikeout numbers working his way through the A's organization. So you'll see him 88 to 90 with the fastball. Velocity actually down a little bit this year from what he did last year. And early this year with the A's, 1-2 with a 493 in 7 starts, and kind of what grabs your attention is the home runs. 9 home runs in 38 1/3, prompting his demotion to AAA.
Daniel Murphy takes a fastball outside. Straley worked with Iowa pitching coach Bruce Walton on his mechanics after the trade with the drop in velocity. Said his fastball angle was a bit flat. Tried to get his release point more out in front of his body, and the results were very good. This is a spot start. He is expected to be sent back to AAA after this one, and the reason he's here is just to give everybody else in the rotation an extra day.
Hey, you've got young guys in the rotation. You've got Arrieta, who had started the year with an arm problem. He's been very good, obviously, since joining the rotation. But late in the year, the innings start to pile up. Not a bad idea. Give everybody a little extra rest, especially when you're not in a pennant race. The potential downside, of course, is you give everybody an extra day, and maybe they get off their routine a little bit.
Well, he's gone up the ladder here. The first 2 batters have struck out. Straley facing this Mets club for the first time.
Murphy, a very reliable contact guy. He got a little greedy there.
Kyle Hendricks will go on Monday. Jake Arrieta tomorrow. How about Hendricks and Cologne? That'll be interesting.
Well, if they get it going, that could take an hour and a half.
The 1-0 on David Wright, lifted in the air to right field. Should be an easy play for Ruggiano, and it is, and a pretty easy first inning as a Chicago Cub for Dan Straley. At hashtag WGN Cubs. That is a picture of Millie Anderson, who's been a diehard Cub fan for 91 years, even though she's only 39. Swing and a miss by Justin Ruggiano as we start the second. It's a nice trick, isn't it? Be a fan much longer than
your
age.
Like what was the movie? Guy went backwards, Benjamin Button or something like that.
Boy, this has been a clinic on how to pitch up in the zone here early on. These two starters.
So Nice gets the big ground ball to get the double play to end the first. Starts the second with a punch out of Ruggiano. He likes to throw his fastball in on right-handed hitters. Kind of cuts it in there. That time he just went way up out of the zone.
Alcantara batting right-handed against the lefty Nice. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Mendy just 2 for his last 26. A cue shot off the end of the bat. And Nice this time with a good throw to Duda. Two quick outs. It'll bring up Castillo, the catcher. Well, did you get out and about on a gorgeous day in Manhattan today?
I did. I went out for a little walkabout. Went down to the park. Talked to the ducks a little bit. Talked to the horses.
Central Park was
very
busy today. Great people watching.
Did you get your run in?
I did.
You run in the park?
Yeah.
See anybody famous?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Who?
Bill Cowher.
Football coach.
Yeah, he was riding his bike.
Kind of looks like Huey Lewis to me.
Yeah, and Bob Brenly was mistaken for Bill Cowher.
Yeah.
You hear the story in Pittsburgh? He got free donuts, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, he walked in there and they thought he was Bill Cowher, and he just kind of played along. Off the plate inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Castillo. Sharply hit on the ground, diving stop. Flores up with it. Out at first. What a play by Flores. He knew he had some time with the catcher running. So 2 Met errors in the first, but circle that one in your scorebook. 80s baseball blog at WGNTV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, the nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 36 years. Join the nation. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Get on the 7 train after the game. Got to do that when you're in New York. We've got a concert here tonight. Boys to Men playing after the game. I think it was Foreigner last year.
It was Foreigner.
Yeah. Do the fouls. There's some Boys to Men. At some point, they're going to change their name to Men to Old Men. There's a media check-in.
I'm not that familiar with Boys to Men. I know there's a there's a TV show that my daughter likes to watch. It's a a cappella singing like a contest, and he's one of the judges. Okay. The head guy, the head boy, or head boy to men guy, Sean something, I believe. Very likable fellow.
Sean Stockman?
I believe that's correct.
Well, don't feel bad. I don't know if they know who you are either.
No, I suspect not.
It takes so long. Here's Darno, the catcher. Terry Collins talking about his catcher today. He took a Javier Baez backswing off the left elbow last night. Darno has suffered multiple concussions in his career, including one earlier this season, and that has the Mets a little concerned. Not easy to keep those catchers healthy.
No, other than that, though, they have to be feeling pretty good about Travis d'Arnaud. Dispatched to AAA earlier in the year after he really struggled out of the gate, and since coming back from Las Vegas, he's been really good. .274 with a .500 slugging percentage. It's beginning of June 24th when he was recalled. He's hit 7 of his 10 home runs in that stretch.
See if they can turn it here. Vallejo. Baez safe at first. Good job by Baez to hang in there as a very large man was sliding at him in Lucas Duda.
And Ricky Renteria talking the other day about Javi Baez. He really impressed with the transition he's made to second base. Likes the footwork. He's got plenty of arm. He gets a lot on this throw, even though he's backing up a little bit to avoid the hit from Duda. Well, key there, just make sure you're not planted. Get a little air underneath you when you take that hit.
So here's Matt Dendecker playing left. Left-handed hitter. Bottom 2, 0-0. Dan Straley in his Cubs debut. There's a base hit to right. It's the first hit of the game for either team.
Dendecker hitting a .190 for the big club this year, but he was leading the PCL with a .334 batting average down at Las Vegas. Pretty quiet approach, quick bat through the zone.
Going to bring up Lagares as center fielder. 1 for 3 in the opener. Happy birthday to Megan Lynch, turning 22 today. Watching from Jefferson, Wisconsin on WGN America. Inside on Lagares. It was a breaking ball. It didn't break much. Straley made his debut in 2012 with the A's. Mentioned his college career. He started at Western Oregon, then transferred to Marshall. When Straley did make that debut, he was the first major leaguer ever from Western Oregon University. Pitch off the inside.
Falling off that breaking ball a little bit, flying open. It's a dangerous pitch. The front side leaks a little bit, and the breaking ball backs up on you. That could become a home run if you get the wrong guy in the box. Lagares, not a real power threat, just 2 home runs this year.
In the air to deep right. Ruggiero going after it. He's not going to get it. And it's going to bounce out of play. So that'll save for at least the time being 1 run. The Mets, though, grab the lead on the double by Lagares.
I'm on fire tonight.
What, the errors?
As soon as I say he's not much of a power guy, hits one to the wall the other way.
You mentioned the Mets had only committed a couple errors in never many games.
Kicking it around,
2 right off the bat.
I've never won the lotto. Never.
Well, he didn't hit a home run, but it did get out of play eventually. So Dendecker has to stop at third. Darno scored. Corner guys are in. They're back up the middle against Flores off the plate inside. Guys back here, is that more of a nod to 2 in scoring position, JD? If there was runner at third, you'd play everybody in, right?
Absolutely, yep.
And the thought is you don't want to give up a bleeder that scores 2.
Yeah, and it's, the more baseball I watch, and I've been watching for a long time now, rarely do you see that base hit through the drawn-in infield, but it happens enough where, in this situation, where a guy like Lagares who can run a little bit, you don't want to give up 2 here.
1-1. The pitch fouled back.
And Straley, the numbers would indicate, and also just watching him pitch, he appears to be more of a fly ball type guy. We mentioned the home run numbers in Oakland earlier this year. It looks like he's the type of pitcher who's going to get more outs in the air than on the ground, working that elevated fastball.
Blocked by Castile.
Good action on that pitch. Changeup, I guess. Kind of like a splitter. This is really good downward movement.
Full count, 3-2.
Certainly an understandable approach after getting the jump on Flores, trying to get him to chase first the changeup and then the breaking ball out of the zone. Now he has to decide how aggressive he wants to be with this 3-2 pitch.
Stays alive. Somebody made a nice catch. Long look by Straley, working with Castillo for the first time. And they are going to get 2. Wilmer Flores has had quite a start. The defensive play. And now knocking in a pair with a single. It's 3-0 Mets.
Tried to clip the outside corner with a fastball. If there's 2 outs, probably go out of the zone there, and if you walk him so big, you've got the pitcher next. But you know the goal was to get 2 outs, and I think you'd rather go after Flores and Nice than Nice and Granderson. So certainly makes sense that he would be a little aggressive there with Wilmer Flores, who isn't a great hitter, but he got the job done there.
Nice showing bunt with that runner at first. You got to throw Jonathan Nice strikes. He has walked 27 times in his career in 297 plate appearances. That's a walk rate of 9.1%, which is better than Major League average. Kind of strange. There's the bunt. The out there. Throw to first. And a good play by Baez just to keep that one from the right field corner. 2 down. Starters have been good against the Mets. They have now 13 straight starts versus New York, in which the starting pitcher has allowed 3 earned runs or fewer, but Straley has given up 3 here in this inning. Granderson with 2 outs. 3-0 New York. Curve is low. Granderson, a 3-time All-Star. Chicago native. To Thornton Fractional South High School and then UIC. And that one is deep. Alcantara back. He's got it. What a catch. Alcantara banging up against the wall right at the 390 sign. The converted infielder done a nice job out there at center. On to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner and connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and info while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Chris Valleca leading off against Nice here in the third. 3-0 Mets. What a catch by Alcantara out there in deep right center.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
He kind of acted like he knew he was going to catch it the whole time.
Yeah. Under control. Good route. Great concentration as he neared the wall. That's how you do it.
Yep. Right ranging to his left, slings it across for the out. And we always have a nice chat with the Cubs manager, going over the day's storylines and anything from the night before that we are curious about. And he told us that he visited the replay center here in New York and said it was really educational.
Yeah, met with one of the umpire supervisors, Randy Marsh. And look at the all the monitors. So they showed him a replay. It was a Marlins Phillies game, and Chase Utley. They made a play on him at third base, and they asked him, "What'd you think, Rick?" And he said, "He's out." And then after a series of replays and different angles, he realized, nope, he was safe.
That was the last replay they showed him. Just nice for a manager just to understand the process once it does go to New York.
Yeah, and what they told him there is, depending on what game it is, there's going to be, some games will have more looks than others, and that's why some of those replays take longer. There's more angles, more cameras to evaluate before they make a final decision.
3-1 on the Cubs pitcher Straley, 0 for 2 in his career with a walk and 2 strikeouts. His minor league career 0 for 3 with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts and a sac bunt.
There you go.
So there you go. These 2 pitchers know how to walk.
Maybe it's just 50-50. Get into a deep count and say, well, if I swing, probably not going to do anything good anyway. I might as well take it.
Coughlin with the man on and 1 out. So the Cubs have had 3 base runners so far, 2 on errors, and then the walk to the pitcher. And it looks like Duda will play behind Straley. Coughlin bounces to Murphy. The flip, the turn, pretty easy. 4-6-3, second one. They've executed here in the early innings. 3-zip Mets. Xfinity a couple of nights ago.
Deep right center field. Ron going back, looking up. Bye-bye baseball.
Chris Bryant with a game ender. His minor league leading 40th of the season. Combined AA and AAA numbers for the third baseman. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Pretty incredible year. And I think that was on some kind of a Chris Bryant jersey giveaway or bobblehead night or something.
Daniel Murphy leading off for the Mets. Straley back in the big leagues. Made 7 starts early in the year with the A's before heading back to the minors, and then traded to the Cubs in July. This is his first major league start since May. Ground ball right to Baez. Comes right. Snapped a 13-game hitting streak last night. 0 for 4 with a walk in the series. It is not official who will come up tomorrow, and it will be a position player since the Cubs are short on their bench. Looks like it's going to be outfielder Matt Caesar. Fouled off by Wright.
Looks like it's pretty breezy out there. See Straley's jersey flapping in the wind.
Alcantara drifting, and he's got it.
Cubs are back this Tuesday to celebrate the 1990s. Make sure to visit WrigleyField100.com for all the planned festivities. Giants and Orioles in town for 6 games. Tickets are still available, especially for that weekend set with the first place Baltimore Orioles. Get your tickets at Cubs.com. Should be fun. Haven't seen the Giants in a while, and obviously first look at the Orioles this year.
First pitch swinging, Duda. Foul pop. Valleca makes the catch to end the inning. 3 in the books. It's 3-0 Mets. August 23rd for the Wrigley Field Extra Innings Show presented by Budweiser, featuring a headline performance by OAR. The show is free to the general public. It will begin immediately after the conclusion of the Cubs Orioles tilt that day, which starts at 1:20 p.m. For more information, go to Cubs.com. Dusk in New York. Baez, ball one. The Cubs without a hit through 3 against John Neese. Now they're on the hit board. Baez with a single into center.
Hit the ball sharply first time up and was mishandled by David Wright. Went for an error. This time no chance to make a play. Got in on him a little bit. He is so strong and generates so much bat speed, and hit the ball down near the label and still hit it with authority.
There is a broken water main on Blake Street, and the Reds and Rockies are being delayed as a result. Swing and a miss by Rizzo. Bounced foul. Neese has coaxed a couple of double play balls to help his cause. Castro in the first, Coghlan in the third.
Yeah, so you'd like to run to stay out of double plays, but it's tough to run on this guy because he's left-handed and he's really quick to home plate.
Outside for a ball.
Talking with Keith Hernandez last night about Anthony Rizzo, and I said, you know, he stands right up on top of home plate. He really covers everything. And Keith was such a good hitter in his career, left-handed hitter, and he said, yeah, he had hitting coaches tell him to, especially against lefties, just get up on top of home plate. Because typically a left-handed hitter is going to see a lot of breaking balls from a left-handed pitcher. And he said they were just easy. I could just, you know, that breaking ball, unless it was well off the plate, I could go out and hit it hard.
What in the world are they doing over there?
They get a Tootsie Pop delivery every night.
Full count. Let's see if Baez might be on the move here. He is not. Ball 4.
Here's one you don't want to miss this Tuesday with the Giants in town. That's August 19th. You want to mark your calendar. First pitch is at 7:05 if you're one of the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark. You're going to take home a Cubs floppy hat that is presented by Pepsi and Jewel Osco. For tickets, Cubs.com.
Chance here, tying run at the plate, nobody out. Castro takes strike 1.
Neese has been much better here in his home park. 2.89 ERA, 9 starts prior to tonight.
This is pure coincidence, but it makes for a good story. Did you know that Jonathan Neese was born the same day the Mets won the World Series in 1986?
I had heard that story before.
October 27th, 1986.
Like it was meant to be.
Yep. Popped up, shallow center. Caught by Lagares.
In Defiance, Ohio, which I believe is the hometown of Tim Belcher. Some other pitchers from Defiance.
Chad Billingsley.
Chad Billingsley. I knew it was a hard-throwing right-hander that spent time with the Dodgers.
Yeah, they were high school teammates.
Mets have not been to the postseason since 2006. They won the division that year, lost the LCS to the Cardinals. Their last winning season was 2008. They finished second that year, game out of the wild card.
Yeah, just talking to people around here, they've got good young pitching, which is what the Cubs are looking for, and I guess what the Mets might be looking for are position players. So the conventional wisdom is that these two teams down the road could match up well in some sort of trade.
Well, as soon as the deal with the A's went down and the Cubs acquired Addison Russell, real good shortstop prospect, there was speculation about Castro to the Mets, and that has resurfaced here with the Cubs coming to town. Local paper has been talking about it. Ricky Renteria was asked about it. Castro's been asked about it. Yeah, it makes sense to contemplate something like that because the Cubs have all the position players. The Mets have some good young pitching. The Mets have another interesting prospect. They have a catcher that is really well regarded, Palecki or something like that.
Mm-hmm. 3-1 on Ruggiano.
Ruggiano, a strikeout victim last time. The only strikeout for Nice. He went after a fastball way up out of the zone. Couple men on. You're looking to do damage here. Elevated again. Slides inside at the last minute, doesn't want to give anything away. Nice hits a spot, the cut fastball in.
3-2, runners holding, and a high fly to left. Ruggiano just got under one. Baez tags on his way to third. Throw goes to second. They're at the corners with 2 outs. Comes Alcantara, bounced out to the pitcher in the second.
Changeup. Changeup sometimes acts like a slider. You see that cutting action in towards Alcantara.
One ball, one strike. Castillo watches from the on deck circle. Single and a walk to start it. Castro fly to shallow center. Ruggiano to deep left, and now 1-2 on Alcantara. The kick, the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the Cubs strand a couple here in the fourth, trailing 3-0.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftop.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Mets lead 3-0. Yeah, you asked if I ran into anybody famous in Central Park today. And whenever I'm in the park, I often think about how cool it would have been in the late 70s just to be hanging in the park and go, oh, there's John and Yoko. We loved this city. 2-0 on Darno. Going to go over to Strawberry Fields.
I'm not.
Caught by Alcantara. Yeah, it's pretty cool. At Central Park West and 72nd, across the street from the Dakota.
Well, last year I was walking in Manhattan and I saw Miles, the guy that played Miles on Murphy Brown.
You have his real name, or
no idea?
Okay, well, I can find it here. Grant Schaud. Schaud.
I don't know. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Miles Silverberg. You know where he's from?
No.
Evanston.
No way.
Yeah. His family might be watching right now.
Small world.
Dendecker fouls off.
Yeah, so Dendecker was up earlier, didn't do much, and down to AAA. As I mentioned, last time he was up there, he was leading the PCL with a .334 batting average. Wasn't hitting for a lot of power, but he's going to get a fair number of looks here between now and the end of the year. Chance to audition to be the primary left fielder next year, perhaps.
Straley struck out the first two batters he faced tonight. That's the first one since.
I have to imagine those guys have hooked up a little bit in the PCL in the past. Dendecker won the battle first time with a single. This time Straley, with a good breaking ball, punches him out. So it's Straley here for just this start, then he'll be back to AAA. But getting close to that September 1 date when rosters will expand.
Lagares, high pop fly to right. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets. After 4, it's New York 3 and the Cubs nothing. It's not the Murphy Brown music, but they had the Odd Couple music. That's all we had. So deal with it, people. There's Miles. The actor's from Evanston, Illinois.
Grant Shot or
That's
Shot?
Exactly the look he had on his face when you ran into him.
He was jogging.
One and 0 on Wellington Castillo. Have to play it in. You didn't say hi, Miles, did you?
No,
okay.
No. It was one of those deals where he was jogging and I walked by him and it took me a while. I know that guy from somewhere, and then it hit me. I said that was Miles.
Two and one. Nice with a 3-0 advantage. That ball driven deep left center, and it will go. Hello, party deck. Put a dent in the back wall on a line shot homer, and the Cubs are on the board.
Well, you kind of feel that coming with Castillo. His swings of late have been much better. Yesterday, he was on base 3 times, had a line drive base hit to center field, was hit by a pitch, drew a walk, and just looks to me like he's seeing the ball a little bit better. And that stroke is just real quick right now. Watch how explosive this swing is. Backdoor cutter, some kind of a breaking pitch down. And just stayed through it. Not trying to do too much.
New career high is 9th. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Well, that was pretty impressive by Welly, but check this out. Over in Korea, watch where this one goes. Can't really tell, can you? Get a better look here.
Hit it over the scoreboard.
Cleared it all.
Swing and a miss by Straley.
표시 있는 정중앙을 까맣게 나가려고 하는데 거의 보이지도 않을 정도예요.
Look at that. Straley strikes out.
I don't know the dimensions of that ballpark, but still, straightaway center field that high, that's pretty
Well, it's
impressive.
at 118 feet.
What was it? Did it say?
It's at 118, but it's not feet.
Must be meters.
Meters, yeah. Yeah, the best part is a home run call. There's the 0-1. Coughlin bounces to the shortstop, Flores. So, the gentleman who called that home run we just showed you from Korea, if he had called Castillo's homer, this is what it might have sounded like.
자, 방향 가운데 탑장 넘어 꽂혔습니다. 와, 정말 뜨거운 시계 표시 있는 정중앙을
Wellington Castillo with a line drive homer to get the Cubs on the board, trailing 3-1. Flores knocked in a couple with a single back in the second. Stands tall in the batter's box. Belt high fastball for strike 1-1. Straley in his Cubs debut. Had one bad inning, and the other 3 have been 1, 2, 3 frames. Fell to Flores.
Yeah, all in all, pretty solid effort so far from Dan Straley. Flores standing in there in that right-handed batter's box, straight up and down, as you mentioned, and body type reminds me a little bit of current Met third base coach Timmy Tuffle. Similar approach in the box.
There's the Murphy Brown theme. Now we need a picture of the Odd Couple. Has a live from New York. It's Murphy Brown. 5 to it, doesn't it? 2-2 is hit on the ground to Vallejo, backed up. Throws a strike to Rizzo for the out. He's doing TV themes now for fun. I like it. Here's Nice.
Straley was here for the ball game yesterday. He couldn't dress out because he wasn't on the roster yet. So he just hung out in the clubhouse and watched the game on television.
Two and two on the pitcher. Full 3-2. Straley walked earlier. Nice has taken it to the limit here in the 5th.
3-2 foul ball. Straley last year with the A's 10-8 with a 3.96 ERA. He made 27 starts. He also made one start in the postseason in the division series against the Tigers. Got a no decision. Worked the 6 innings of 3-run ball.
Struck out 8. Didn't walk anybody. Nice grounds out.
On Friday, it's a 121st pitch with the Orioles in town. First 10,000 fans at the ballpark, 21 and over. They'll receive a Kerry Wood 20 strikeout bobblehead presented by Budweiser. Tickets are still available, so visit Cubs.com today.
Here's Granderson. Strike 1. Finals from earlier today. The Giants came back and beat the Phillies in San Francisco 6-5 the final. The changeup. Game-winning hit Gregor Blanco in the 8th inning. 2 doubles, a triple for Michael Morse.
I love the pace Australia is working with.
A change and a check swing foul.
Up and in heater. Speed him up. Change up, down and away.
Yankees cooling off the Rays. New York ending a 5-game skid with a 3-2 win at Tampa Bay. And the Rays now game under 500. Called strike 3 to end the inning. It's now 11 in a row retired. Four games here in New York. This is the second of those four. (3-1) the Mets have the lead. Hello originally recorded that song. Ace Frehley from Kiss with the version you just heard, 1978. Two strikes on Baez. Picked up the first Cub hit with a single in the fourth. And he chased one in the dirt. Bono has to fire to first, which he does successfully for the out. Here's a look at the Cubs Ford upcoming schedule. Two more after this here in New York. Day games on CSN, and then back home to play the Giants. Ford, go further in any one of Ford's many fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or localfordstores.com. We've mentioned this before, but the Mets colors a nod to the Dodgers and the Giants. The New York Giants, that's the orange, and the Brooklyn Dodgers, that's the blue. One and one on Rizzo.
That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
And if you didn't know that, you learned something today that you didn't know.
important every day to learn something new.
I learned that Miles was from Evanston.
Right. So that's two things we've learned today. Well, you already knew the orange and blue thing.
Rizzo bounces to first. It'll be handled by Duda. The Mets nickname came about because club owner Mrs. Joan Payson at the time said it best met 5 basic criteria. There's a Jackie Robinson Rotunda. It was publicly an acceptable name, closely related to the team's corporate name, Metropolitan Baseball Club, Inc. It was descriptive of the metropolitan area, and it was short and to the point. There was an historical connection, recalling the Metropolitans of the American Association back in the 19th century. They thought about rebels, skyliners, NYBs, boroughs, BURROS for the 5 boroughs, Continentals, and Avengers. Jets and Islanders were considered, and those, of course, were eventually used by other teams here in New York. There's things we take for granted these days in sports, nicknames, but
so she wanted to be short
in the first place, yeah.
It's worked out pretty well. So to get the whole "Let's Go Mets," there's some rhythm to that. So is their official name the Metropolitans, or are they just the Mets?
I think it's the Mets.
So.
Don't get too excited.
Let's watch a game.
Castro strikes out. So there you have it, all your Mets history in one lump sum. 3-1.
Could have been the Liberties.
Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Mets lead 3-1. Now batting Daniel Murphy. Musical guest, Boys to Men. Inside, we're in the bottom of the 6th. These 2 starters working quickly. Backhanded by Rizzo, and he'll take it unassisted. Murphy's 0 for 3.
All the guys at the top of the order 0 for the Mets so far tonight. Granderson, Murphy, Wright, Duda. The Mets have 3 hits. They came consecutively in the second inning. Then Decker, Lagares, and Flores with a 2-run single. And now one bad hole. He double bogeyed the second hole. Everything else has been a par.
Happy 12th birthday, the young Cub fan in Davenport, Iowa, Wayne Goodman. Curveball over on Wright.
Wright has really struggled against right-handed pitching this year.
Swing and a miss.
To the tune of 239 batting average. 300 on base.
Got away with one there. You saw Castillo. He wanted that elevated fastball, but that one caught a little bit of the plate.
Yeah, got a little dangerous down around the belly button. Castillo wanted that one up around the letters. So, you know, Wright got beaten in the head by Matt Cain a few years back. And then last year he got hit in the head again against the Brewers. So I guess it would be easy to connect the dots and say, well, because of that, he struggled this year against right-handed pitching. I don't know if you can do that, but the numbers clearly not good against right-handed pitching this year.
Oh, just as you were saying. Wow. You have been rather prescient tonight. Looks like he's all right. That's scary.
Yeah, and we've seen him flinch on some breaking balls. Remember, he wore the oversized helmet there for a time.
Yeah, I mean
that's the thing. You know, you get drilled a couple times. You know, you get hit once, and that's always a challenge for a hitter. To you know, it's always there in the back of your mind. The risk you take when you stand in there. You know, major league pitching, guys throwing 95 miles an hour, and then once you've been hit once, and you know, it creeps a little bit more towards the front of your mind. And once you've been hit twice, even more so. I mean, these guys that have gone through that and managed to still play at a high level, it's pretty impressive.
Fastball low to Duda.
Real good changeup to Granderson last inning. He tried it there to Duda. To me, like he tried to maybe overthrow it just a little bit. This is a big confrontation here. Duda, one of the top power hitters in the league this year. He's hit 21 home runs. Mets have some big arms out there in their bullpen. They've been pitching well of late, so can't afford to let Duda lay into one here on 2-0. Got to make a pitch.
Duda went.
Indeed, he did make a pitch, a 2-0 changeup. Really well placed.
Four new members of the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. The late Marty Marion, Willie McGee, former Cub Jim Edmonds, and Mike Shannon. They get to wear those big red sport coats.
Shannon just now being put into that. I'm surprised he wasn't in it already.
Duda takes ball 4, so he has walked twice. Basio heads out. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Issues last night. Was able to work out of the jam. Is up in the bullpen. The game has been postponed in Denver. I guess the bathrooms weren't working. That's a problem. The water main break on Blake Street, just outside of Coors Field. So the Reds and Rockies called off.
How about that?
Got to have working restrooms. It's kind of important.
Yeah, for the fan experience.
Two on, one away. Darno rips one in the left. Tim Tuffle's going to put on the brakes. So right will hold there, and they're loaded. Hit batter, a walk, and now a single.
Well, Castillo now charged with going out and having a chat with Straley. This is all about making sure Wesley Wright is ready to go with the lefty Den Decker scheduled to bat here. Fujikawa now up as well. Well, maybe not. I thought for sure they were going to go to the lefty here.
So bases loaded. Matt Den Decker takes ball one outside. Single and a run in the second, a strikeout in the fourth. Swing and a miss.
And this is where having only the one left-hander does tie Ricky Renteria's hands a little bit. He can call on his lefty here and not even be sure he's going to get the platoon advantage because Terry Collins might counter and come with a right-handed bat.
Campbell, who homered last night, would have been an option. Yeah, if it's Lucas Duda, he's going to take the at bat. And that kind of sets up the whole conversation about what the Rays do, what the A's do, what the Cubs have tried to do at certain spots. If you don't have 8 set position players, it does give you an advantage in these matchups in the middle to late innings. Swap out a righty for a lefty or vice versa. 3-1. Well, he's got to come in there now.
I think that was a big key to the Giants' success a couple of years ago. It's been part of the A's story the last couple of years, how many at-bats they get with the platoon advantage.
For Straley, and he just forced in a run, and Dendecker will get an RBI as a result.
Not a lot of pitches, but maybe just running out of gas, right? First start with the new team, a lot of adrenaline. You ride that for a while, and then once that subsides, fatigue kicks in. But all in all, pretty solid effort here from Dan Straley tonight.
We'll be back. Ishikawa can limit the damage here. Bases loaded, 1 out and a run in.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, as we went to break, I said all in all, pretty good job here by Dan Straley. There's a chance that the numbers aren't going to tell the story, though, because 4 runs charged to him already, 3 men on base. It could get pretty ugly here if the bullpen doesn't do its job. Fujikawa working for just the 4th time since coming back to the big leagues. Tommy John surgery last year, worked his way back, rehabbing down in the minor leagues. An ERA of 3 through 3 big league appearances. First 2 were clean, and then a couple days ago against the Brewers, he gave up 1 run in 1 inning of work. It was a Mark Reynolds home run in that 6-2 Brewers victory. Final day of the homestand.
So it'll be Lagares against Fujikawa. Go ahead RBI double for Lagares in the 2nd. Duda at 3rd, Darno at 2nd, Dendecker is at 1st. The D-men are on base.
Corners in, middle infielders play for 2.
Foul strike, 90 on the fastball from Fujikawa. Inside for a ball. This is career game number 16 at the big league level for QG. Has been pitching professionally since he was 19 years old in Japan. Golfed out in the right center. On the move, Alcantara, and it's off his glove. 1 run in. Here comes another, and it's 6-1.
Good approach by Lagares, keeping the hands pulled in and hitting the ball the other way in the air. Alcantara had a good ways to go, but should have been able to haul that one in. Boy, and Den Decker was hung up there. He was pretty far along towards second base. If Alcantara had caught that ball, he had a real shot at doubling him up at first base.
So it's a 2-run double for Lagares and everybody in on the infield. These runs charged to Spraley. They will intentionally walk Flores to get to the pitcher, Nice. And what do we got now?
Calling it an E8, but he's giving him a sack and an RBI, 1 RBI.
Okay. No double.
Take a look again. Let's watch the base runner Den Decker from first. He's pretty far along here, and if Alcantara catches that ball, they got a real shot at doubling up. He'd slammed on the brakes, started to retreat, and then with the misplay, reverse course and headed to second base.
That's a fair ball. Step on the bag, throw to the plate, safe. Den Decker got in ahead of the tag by Castillo. And of course, Welly has to tag him there. It's not a force play after Rizzo stepped on first.
That good slide by Den Decker to avoid the tag from Castillo. Rizzo plays it right. I mean, I guess he could have unloaded directly to home plate, but trying to get 2 there, it was just maybe an extra half step to get to the bag.
That will be it for Fujikawa. With Granderson due, so we'll see Wesley Wright. All Mets 7-1 now in the 6th. walked the first two he faced last night. Then got a double play. 7-5 double play.
Hey, he had not been out there in 4 days. He did not work in the Milwaukee series. Maybe that's what caused him to be a little bit off the mark with those walks. Ultimately was able to get out of it. Perhaps he'll be a little sharper here tonight, working in back-to-back days.
Second and third, 2 outs. And 4 runs in for the Mets. They've blown it wide open. All right, it's only going to need 1 pitch to get out of the inning, but they bat around. It's now 7-1 New York. Time now for our WGN Cubs fan cam with the Velvet Underground. Vocals, late Lou Reed. And WGN Cubs fan cam. Justin Ruggiano, towering fly deep to center, back at the wall. It is gone. If that young man is all right. Well, that ball was hit a ton by Ruggiano. 7-2.
And last time up, he just missed one. It was a high cut fastball. He got underneath it a little bit for a high fly ball to the left field. He does not miss this in any way, shape, or form. He crushed that ball. A couple of solo home runs for the Cubs tonight. Castillo, now Ruggiano. Kind of the same pitch he got last time. We've been working him up in the zone.
Meanwhile, Alcantara rolls one into left. Back-to-back hits to start the 7th. That young fan out there tried to make a catch. I hope he's all right.
For the home run, Alcantara wastes no time. Pulls one through the hole. It's Campbell over there at third base now for the Mets.
Another ball squared up. Castillo.
Yeah, that whole he got a big lead, be aggressive. That can be a little overrated sometimes for a pitcher.
And Warren, the Mets pitching coach, is going to go out and say, stop giving a hard contact.
Again, another good swing by Castillo. Got 3 good swings tonight. Flores made a heck of a play on him his first time up, and then home run, and now solid single. It's got Dan Moore, the pitching coach, to the mound. It's got Terry Collins' attention in the dugout, and it's got Buddy Carlisle and Vic Black up in the Mets bullpen. Terry Collins taking over as the manager of the Mets in 2011. It was what, a 12-year gap between major league managing assignments. He had last managed in 1999 with the Angels. Started with the Astros, and on to Anaheim. And he worked in the Dodger organization. Went managed in Japan for a couple of years.
Yeah, we always enjoy chatting with Terry Collins.
Baseball man through and through. Actually, in one of the years he was out, when he got back from Japan, he went and managed, just a very brief time, a college summer league team up in Duluth, Minnesota, as a favor for a friend. Did it for free.
Worked as a Cubs advanced scout in 2000. Valleca in the air down along the right field line. Granderson is over there, and I'm not sure what happened. It's a foul ball, I know that. No catch by Granderson. We lose sight of the outfielders in the corners. So a foul strike on Valleca. No error, no play. Here you get a good look. Ooh, that's dangerous.
It sure is.
He cradled it and just could not hang on. New life for Valleca. Eric Campbell, as JD mentioned, now playing third, so we're waiting word on David Wright. He got hit by a pitch. And now out of the game, so it's easy to do the math and assume there's some sort of injury. Ground ball into center. Gary Jones is going to stop Alcantara, which is the right play. Oh man, Lagares showing off that arm again. Now down 5 with nobody out, you just can't take a chance. 4 straight hits here to start this inning.
Home run and then 3 consecutive singles. Lagares, he plays shallow. He has good speed, so he gets this ball in a hurry, and he's got a big arm as well. That, coupled with the score, means a stop sign for Gary Jones.
Pinch hitter now, it's Ryan Sweeney. Only lefties available on the bench if you don't count Travis Wood and Edwin Jackson, who are available to run or hit or whatever else Ricky Renteria needs with a short bench. Chance to get back in the game here. And a strike to Sweeney. And the fact that it is Sweeney might have kept Neese in the game for one more batter. In the dirt. Leadoff homer by Ruggiano. 3 straight singles since. Oh, that's off of Nice. It goes right to third. Everybody's safe. That must have hit Nice's glove. He is very fortunate to not be seriously injured. 7-3 on the infield RBI single by Sweeney.
Terry Collins fairly sprinting out of the dugout. Obviously wants to check on Nice, but he's going to go to that bullpen too. As Nice giving it one solid shot after another here in the Cubs' 7th.
Boy, he is fortunate that deflected off his non-pitching arm. I don't know the last time I've seen this much hard contact. 5 batters in a row.
Yeah, it's like they were taking BP all of a sudden.
So a pitching change, I would imagine whoever comes in will have as much time as he needs. And the Cubs have the bases loaded and the tying run at the plate with nobody out.
'21st pitch at Wrigley Field, and if you're one of the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark, you'll take home that smart-looking Wrigley Field tote bag brought to you by Starwood. Tickets are still available, so visit Cubs.com.
So how about this for Jonathan Nice? And obviously his first order business, make sure that arm is okay. Here's right-hander Vic Black. You exit with a 7-3 lead, so he has a chance for the win. Can't take a loss tonight, but the way his night ended can't make him feel too good.
No, you know, and I think he would say that he maybe just lost a little concentration after he got the big lead, decided to be a little more aggressive over the plate, trying to work a quick 7th inning. His MO was to attack early, throw a lot of strikes. Kind of started to misfire there, and the Cubs took full advantage.
It's like he's doing an early dissection of his outing in the dugout. Here's Chris Coghlan. Still no outs. The bases are full. 2 runs in. And a 7-3 Mets lead. Here's a pitch. Check swing foul. Past third. Castillo at third. Valleca at second. Sweeney's at first. Good average for Coghlan in this spot. Still seeking his first career grand slam.
Black, a power arm, mid to upper 90s fastball, and a hard curveball.
Left field, Dendecker makes a catch. He's going to throw to third. Castillo could have easily scored, but decided to put on the brakes. Interesting. It's the first out.
Yeah, well, you know, just playing the game based on the score. Den Decker doesn't want to make any mistakes and let back runners move up. Castillo doesn't want to take a risk of being thrown at home, so he slams on the brakes, even though Den Decker was conceding the run. Castillo, however, when he broke, wasn't aware of that fact. And lucky he didn't go too far down the line before starting to retreat, and they might have had a play on him.
Javier Baez has reached on an error, has singled, and has struck out. Kick the 1-0. Big cut and a miss. And a slider. Actually, it's a curveball. 83. Throws it really hard. Popped up foul territory, at least for now. Doesn't matter. He's out anyway. Infield fly rule. Duda makes the catch. Baez not too thrilled, and it's up to Rizzo.
Well, with all the damage coming from the bottom of the order, this is exactly where Ricky Renteria wanted to be. Men on base with his power hitters coming up. Baez couldn't deliver. Now it's up to Rizzo.
In the infield fly rule on that play, once the arm goes up, if the ball lands fair, the batter's out.
See how aggressive Black is here early with Rizzo. Rizzo's hit 11 or 12 home runs on a first pitch this year. Pretty aggressive. But when you throw 97, you can afford to be aggressive.
Two strikes on Rizzo. This would be quite an escape job for Vic Black. He inherited a bases loaded, no out situation with the top of the order coming up. Two popped up. In disgust, Rizzo flips the bat away. Caught by Flores, and the Cubs settle for just 2 runs. Could have been a lot better. Luciano led off the inning with a home run. They added another. They still trail by 4. chances in the Mets. They had 5 hits in the top of this 7th inning, only could score twice. And the Mets scored 4 times on just 1 hit in the 6th. Start something special with great leases and low financing on a new Honda. Visit shophonda.com or go to your local Honda dealer. Here's the young fan who went after that Ruggiano home run ball and unfortunately took one off the noggin, but looks like he's all right. Carlos Villanueva. Missed opportunity for the Cubs. Bases loaded, nobody out, could not add on. After getting 2 off Nice.
Yeah, a weird game too when you think about it. You look back at Straley's night. He was clean, you know, 4 of his innings, had rough go of it in the 2nd and then in the 6th. So he didn't allow that many base runners, but just about everybody he put on base came around to score. So a bit of, you know, bad fortune for Straley, and the numbers ultimately, you know, aren't going to look good. 7 runs allowed and 5 1/3. I think what 5 earned of the 7.
Yeah, 2 unearned, 5 earned. In time 1-1 on Murphy. Make it 1-2. So the other one is, and we've talked a lot about pitchers' wins and saves, and how all this stuff can be a little misleading at times. If the Mets go on to win this game 7-3 or 8-4, whatever, Vic Black should probably get the save, which he cannot.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But if anybody saved the game for Terry Collins, it was Black.
He did the heavy lifting. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Top of the order. So everything against him. Line right to Vallejo.
Catch all of the second half action on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Visit Cubs.com for details. Second half, well, really we're down to the final quarter here. The marathon has become a sprint for the teams in contention.
Campbell with a game-winning homer last night, swings and misses. First at bat tonight. The Mets did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge before the game to raise ALS awareness. Campbell's college teammate was Pete Freitas, who really got this whole thing started. The Ice Bucket Challenge. He was diagnosed with ALS in 2010. They were teammates at Boston College. Bouncer to Vallejo. Here comes Duda. Corey Furlong checks in on Twitter. What's your favorite music venue in New York? That's a great question. There are a lot of great places. I never went to CBGB's.
I've never heard of CBGB's.
That's the iconic club, Lower East Side. Closed a few years ago. That's where a lot of American punk started. The Ramones played there all the time. Blondie back in the late 70s.
Is she from New York? She a New York girl?
Well, that's the band. Deborah Harry.
Deborah Harry, yeah.
Is the lead singer, yeah. Jerry's Familia. Really impressive last night. Mercury Lounge is a great place. Went to Terra Blues last night. Caught some great blues. I have not been to the Apollo. The Rock Shop in Brooklyn. Cool spot. Michael Powers' Frequency last night. Saw him at Terra Blues. And what reminded me is Duda has All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. He played some Hendrix. Man, just tore it up. And it is a city that never sleeps. Left the club at about 2:30 a.m. and he was still playing.
Just getting cranked up, I bet.
Yes, he was. Three and two on Duda. Here's the pitch. Just missed. He's walked 3 times tonight.
It's a power hitter with an awareness of what they're trying to do to him, and he just kind of keyholed that changeup all the way into Castillo's mitt.
Curve at 72. He can throw it slower than that if he wants to. A ground ball to Baez to end the inning. To the 8th. Mets 7, Cubs 3. Brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Ford, manufacturers of America's best-selling brand. Check out our best-selling lineup at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Second trip to New York. Cubs 0-3 against teams here. They got swept and shut out in a makeup day-night doubleheader in the Bronx in April. Lost 3-2 last night. Trail here tonight, 7-3 late.
Familia, a part of it last night. He worked a scoreless eighth, had a couple of strikeouts, was most impressive. The 7-mile-an-hour turbo sinker he featured. And then he's having a good year. 60th time now for him, and he's got a 2.05 ERA.
Castro, Ruggiano, and Alcantara here in the 8th. Castro 0 for 3. Came in with a 14-game hitting streak. So that's on the line. If he can get it to 15, that would be a new career high. Bounce toward left. Backhanded play. Flores. Strong arm. He got him.
Flores made a couple of nice plays tonight, this time from the hole. Steadies the ship right over the top. Throws a seed over there to Duda.
Ruggiano hit a long homer. His last time up, it was the last inning. Fastball at 95. In the dirt. Deep breath by Familia. That's the outside corner on 96. Now ready for a 1-2. And he got him on the slider. Nasty. 2 away. And here comes Alcantara.
Very good story at 538 Sports, 538.com by Jonah Carey and Neil Payne, talking about how bullpens have taken over the game. You know, about the strikeout rate being up in baseball, and they chronicle, you know, bullpen usage and not just the number of innings that the bullpens are throwing, but the, you know, more and more players, more and more pitchers being used from the 6th inning on. So it's one specialist after another, or power arms from the 7th inning on, and it's a big challenge for the modern hitter. You know, you get a couple, maybe 3 at bats off the starter, and then late in games, all these flamethrowers coming out of the bullpen.
Well, might we get, I'm kind of exaggerating the point, but to a point where starters are becoming not more rare, but shorten up even more, have guys throw more often but fewer pitches, which is kind of what the Rockies and the Astros were
contemplating.
And a lot of the debate about, you know, arm injuries and fatigue, it's not about necessarily how often a guy is used, but how many pitches he throws that particular game. The overtaxing, you know, the 135 pitches, whatever, and that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah,
you can max out your velocity if you throw 40 pitches versus 96. Swing and a miss. We talk more about it, but the Mets relievers mowing them down. 7-3.
Beach or to Hollywood, but I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind.
Mets 7, Cubs 3. New York trying to add on here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-run lead for the home team. Cubs will have Castillo, Valleca, and a pinch hitter in the ninth. Decker takes ball 1 from Villanueva. Swing and a miss on a change.
Felix Hernandez streak is over. He had gotten at least 7 innings, allowed no more than 2 runs in his last 16 starts, but an early departure tonight. He got hit by a comebacker off the bat of Ian Kinsler and only worked 5 innings tonight. No immediate announcement on his condition, but 7 hits, 2 runs allowed in 5 innings for Hernandez. That was a record, 16 consecutive with those numbers. Tom Seaver had the previous mark of 13 back in '71.
Alcantara on the move, makes the catch. Now Lagares, who's knocked in a couple on a double and a sac fly. Buddy Carlisle, not Henry Mejia, with the 4-run lead. 1-0 changeup. Now 1-1. Good. But not to the home plate umpire, Phil Cousins.
Must have been in. It wasn't low.
Well, he hit the glove, so wherever Castillo was set up is where he hit it. That's on the outside corner. Another changeup. A couple of good ones here in this sequence. Jake Arrieta and Rafael Montero tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks, Bartolo Colon on Monday. Roll to Baez, moving to his left. 2 outs. Montero in for Jacob deGrom, who went to the disabled list earlier this week. Marlins have beaten the Diamondbacks 2-1 in Miami. Anderson Alvarez got his 9th win. Steve Cishek with his 31st save. Alvarez now with a .243 earned run average.
Oh, there you go.
There's the real slow one.
I don't think it registered.
Yeah, we don't have pitch speed working right now, but I'm going to say that one was at 68 miles an hour. Check to swing. Villanueva will barehand, and he got him. 2 scoreless innings for Villanueva. Off to the 9th. Cubs are down 4. at Wrigley Field, but New York trying to win its second in a row to begin this weekend here. And veteran right-hander Buddy Carlisle is on in a non-save spot.
Carlisle, 36 years of age, well-traveled. He's been with a number of major league clubs in different organizations. Padres, Braves, Yankees, Jays. Originally signed by the Reds. Second-round pick in 1996 by Cincinnati. Look at his numbers with the Mets this year in 12 appearances. Solid stuff. After a successful run with their AAA club out in Las Vegas.
Welly 2 for 3 with a home run. Cubs need base runners. Straight fastball is a called strike. On a bounce, the busy man tonight, Flores. Made all the plays.
Here just in case.
Well, not a ton of guys around who had big league time in the decade of the 90s, but Carlisle is one of those guys. 1999 debuted with the Padres. His name is Earl, but he goes by Buddy. Ball 1 to Valleca. Luis Valbuena's on deck. Now 2-1.
Carlisle also spent some time in Japan.
Fouled off and out of play. David Wright left. They're calling it left shoulder soreness. Got hit by a pitch in the back of that shoulder in the 6th inning. Two and 2 on Valleca. Called strike 3 for out number 2. Call Carlisle a hard thrower, but still get it up there to 92. And he freezes Valleca.
Yeah, pretty good run on that knee-high fastball. Valbuena, the last chance now for the Cubs. They'll take this at bat.
He made the final out off the bench last night. Probably back in the lineup tomorrow. Cubs have done nothing against this bullpen in this series.
It's interesting. Carlisle broke in at 21. He's still pitching in the big leagues at 36. You would think with that combination would be a guy that had a very successful major league career. That hasn't been the case. He's very much a journeyman. Been up and down. He's been able to endure, stick around. But normally the skill set of a player who can come to the big leagues at 21 and be in the big leagues at 36, you think, well, this is a guy Had one heck of a major league run.
Buena held, only parts of 8 seasons over this 15-year stretch in the big leagues.
Yeah, a lot more time in the minor leagues than up here.
Parts of 16 minor league campaigns. Two, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Carlisle goes 1-2-3, and the Mets taking the first 2 of this series. A final tonight, 7-3. And JD, I think tonight's about the 7th inning. Cubs with a golden opportunity to get back into it. Could not.
Yeah, Vic Black comes in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and retires 3 in a row on 8 pitches to shut the Cubs down and basically end the ball game.
So the final from New York: Mets 7, Cubs 3, and we'll have more to come in a moment.